Hello, I'm Victoria Corva. You can call me V, and I am back to continue the latest adventure of co-writing with AI Dungeon. Hopefully you can hear me. Last time there were some technical difficulties at the beginning of the stream, which I found extremely embarrassing when starting an entirely new story. But sometimes that happens. Hi, Chimerical Girls. I'm very excited that you could make it. Hello, Tricky V. I guess AI Dungeon with V. Yes, it's back again. Story Dragon, hello. Thank you for confirming you can hear me. That is very reassuring. Yeah, let's continue the game. Oh, wait, hang on. I have get a few scales. I haven't really used these yet, but I know that they'll give me additional retries with the AI, which I think will be very useful. Yeah, how's everyone doing? We've got to continue this very awkward story, but very happy to chat while we do so. Obviously, my attention will be very distracted, but... Oh, I suspect my cat is coming to interrupt this session. Oh no, he went to the window. We're all good. Okay. So, last time, as a quick recap, I wanted to start the story, you may remember, with my one goal was that we start the story being bitten by a werewolf. So I set the scene, prepared the AI to bite us with the werewolf. And the AI immediately opens with, "I am not here to harm you," from the werewolf. And, oh my goodness. And then we were just trapped with awkward small talk with this werewolf for ages. Then the AI decided that the world is becoming stranger in the time since we've been in the village. The forest is becoming mutated and creepy. And a merchant arrives and asks us to make silver arrowheads. While we're working on those arrowheads, a woman appears carrying a toddler. She somehow knows our name, Nero. We're a blacksmith. And she has the same eyes as the wolf that we met the night. I think it was like a month ago. Tricky Thesis scales are more money for worlds and stuff, not retries. Okay, well that's really good to know. Doesn't seem to hurt to collect them, but because I'm sure doing a world thing could be fun at some point, but yeah, thank you very much. Okay. So we left it with the AI, oh my goodness. The AI had the last input, and it's kind of awkward, but I mean, it kind of works. So it reads, "You don't recognize the woman or her child, and you are surprised she knows your name. Startled, you set aside your hammer and meet her eyes. They are bright gold. Your hands curl into fists at your sides. There's no way she can know you. No way, ... She smiles at you warmly. I'm sorry to just show up on your doorstep like this, she says, as if she's someone we know. Tricky V says, the AI probably just wants blood or curses. You know, that's what I've always thought that it wants, and yet it also seems to really savor awkward small talk. So we just don't know what the AI is going to throw at us. There's also the fact that it was struggling for a little while. It seemed to think that we were writing maybe some kind of paranormal romance or something. I felt like it was getting those vibes. But then when we started saying about being a blacksmith, it sent us a merchant and a fetch quest, basically. So who knows? Okay, so we've got a woman and her child who are probably the werewolf. Let's see where we can write this going. Excuse me while I type. Tippity tappity. Tricky Thee says, AI Dungeon can create really great action stories, but for you it's just, duh. How about small talk with a werewolf? Yeah, absolutely, Tricky Thee. That's what we got. I was so sure I could rely on it to, like, I put a monster in front of me, I get bitten by the monster. I mean, there was even a story where it killed the main character before I had a chance to enter a single input. So I was so sure I could count on it, but nope. Never rely on AI Dungeon. Griffin AI will always let you down. Alright, we'll go with this, so... I'm curious what it'll do. I'm sorry, do I know you? You ask, your voice a little strangled. You don't recognize the woman, but the eyes are all too familiar. Her child's eyes are just as bright. You try to deny what this must mean, try to forget the wolf-like creature you met all those weeks ago, as you try to forget it every day. AI adds, but the memories won't go away. The memories won't let you forget. The memories are all too real. No, I don't believe we've met, she says. Well, no, you... I'm Licia. Your sister? No. No. Oh, there's a bot in chat. Let me just get rid of them. Please leave forever. There we go. Tricky Thee says the AI doesn't want this to be the werewolf. It doesn't. But she's like, I'm sorry to. She's like, Nero. She says her name, and then she's like, I'm sorry to just show up on your doorstep like this. And then she says, I don't believe we've met. I'm your sister. I mean, maybe we can work with this. I don't know. A surprise sister. Yeah, apparently a surprise sister. We're gonna go with surprise sister. This is a coincidence. This is, or like there's something else at play maybe that we can do. Come on, AI Dungeon. I just want the story to kind of cohere in some way. I don't think you're capable of a complex storyline. I don't. But I'm gonna try. Okay. Alright, alright. I don't know what happened to our sister. I guess our parents divorced or something. Tricky says, this is gonna go bad. I can feel it. I mean, it always goes bad. This is trying to co-write with AI Dungeon. It doesn't go well. It rarely goes well. Alright. Okay. Tricky Thee says, I played a prompt for superheroes and a villain knocked me across the world. It was epic. The AI is just difficult with you for some reason. Well, I'm not using it strictly the way it was designed to be used because I'm trying to tell a story with it and I'm forcing it to use story mode all the time. So that's part of it. And I'm not very good at, like, understanding its brain, I feel. Its computer brain. Anyway, so we write, Lycia, the name stops your spiraling panic. Your mother mentioned that your father had had another child, though you don't remember whether a name was mentioned. It was a rumour passed to her as far as you knew. She'd had no more contact with your father than you had since he'd left. This is also strange. You are already feeling unbalanced from her golden eyes, but this has turned you in completely another direction. You hastily step aside and gesture for her to join you. Please, you say. Come in. We can catch up over a cup of tea. My sister, you say. You wish you sounded even a fraction less frazzled. Oh my god. And then the AI says, I'm afraid I don't know her. Could you tell her this is a surprise? Lycia smiles at you warmly, and you find yourself unable to look... No! I'm sorry to yell, chat. I'm sorry. You introduced yourself as my sister, AI Dungeon, and then you're like, sister? Oh, I don't know her. And then you're like, romance? No! Hard no! Oh my goodness. No! No. Tricky V says V and the AI are in a constant battle. It really feels like it. Look, we're only like 15 minutes into this stream and I'm just... No, it's fine. I'm totally calm. I'm extremely calm. I'm gonna do fine. Gabriel says the AI loves to reward you for going with its ideas. Yeah, this is what happened. I was like, no, you know what, AI Dungeon? We can do this. We can make this work. And then it just absolutely sucker punched me again. I hate it. Story Dragon. The AI doesn't want to listen. It also doesn't want to... It was its own idea, Story Dragon. It was its own idea. I'm gonna try again. It's not listening to itself. AI Dungeon! Okay, we're trying again. We're trying again. We're trying again? Alright. I feel like I'm already losing the plot. I have to say, I feel like it requires great emotional fortitude to battle with AI Dungeon. And I am not feeling... especially emotionally strong today. So if I lose my mind faster than normal, I can only apologize. But it's testing me. I think we can all agree AI Dungeon is testing me right now. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we say, my sister, you say, and then we also say, yes, no, I mean, yes, no, I mean, you bite your lip nervously. You feel as if you must be missing something obvious here. She sits on the edge of her... She's not on a seat. On the edge of her seat, a smile still fixed on her face. AI Dungeon, it's you! Stop acting like I'm confusing you, AI Dungeon. I think you know it's you. Will I ever stop anthropomorphizing AI Dungeon? No. Never. Tricky V says this is creepy. It is creepy. It's so creepy. I see this, but this dialogue I feel is still coming from some kind of paranormal romance situation, or at least like some kind of modern contemporary urban fantasy. I honestly think that the introduction of wolves just really confuses AI Dungeon because it's trained on novels. I'm just gonna go again. No! 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 Yes, your father and I were married. You must have taken a running step backwards as she spoke. Your back presses against the cold iron of the anvil. It remembers we're in a blacksmith. Okay. Alright. No, it's fine. I'm not going to raise my voice. I'm calm. Yeah, no wonder you took a running step. What's a running step backwards? My sister, she was married to my father. No! These is the people who made the AI trained it in the wrong stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Story Dragon's her sister and mother in one person. Certainly seems to be the case. Chimerical Girl says, this is horrible, but it's also extremely entertaining. Oh, I'm very pleased that you are entertained. As long as I can entertain all of chat, then something good has come of this. However, I'm going to have to put up this text on my website for people to read, and they'll go, why did you let this happen? I just want to scream. I'm going to go again. No, your father and I are married. You get one more try AA dungeon, and then I'm putting you on timeout, and I'm gonna write a bit more. Come on. Tricky Thee says YouTube isn't gonna be happy. I'm gonna get, like, it's a good job I don't monetize my videos. I'm gonna get, like, content strike or something. They're gonna be like, this is not appropriate for children. Lycia nods, the toddler, a little girl this time. What? Watches both of you from Lycia's hip. You realize with a shock that this must be your half-sister. Lycia's eyes flicker over to the toddler. Okay, what I have learned is that AI Dungeon cannot handle familial connections at all. At all. Which is frustrating because it was AI Dungeon's idea that I have a sister. So... this must be your half-sister? I'm not gonna go with you again. I'm not yes-anding you again. This is clearly this woman's child, so it can't be my half-sister. It has to be my niece. A little girl this time? Like, it's this child visibly gender fluid, and I don't feel like I would just be able to know that. I remove sister. Yeah, I think you're right. I'm gonna go ahead and... I'm gonna fix it. Niece? Alright, Dungeon, I am not much better at familial connections. I just have, personally, I have a lot of experience of siblings and very little experience of anything else. So, again, I'm like, niece, that's like your sister's child, right? Yeah, totally fine. Brain totally working. Werewolf time, says Tricky Thee. I mean, I want it to be werewolf time. Okay, so we've edited that. So that it makes more sense, and you know that it's the least horrifying option it's given us of the many retries we've just had. So what I'm going to do is 5 hours later still talking to this woman, says Tricky Thee. Yeah. Yeah. Whew. I mean, it felt like 5 hours that we were talking to the original wolf. I was trying to, like, escape from this awkward encounter. Alright. Child name. I don't know. Tricky Thee says, I hope you guys like monologues. Look, we've got an hour left of AI Dungeons, so it can get a lot weirder in an hour. Apron. I'm gonna go with apron. I'm too tired. Jesus, V is already tired of the AI right now. I was tired of the AI 15 minutes ago. Today, I have no patience for AI Dungeon, and AI Dungeon is not working with me. Some days I feel like we work together really well, but today is not one of those days, and most days are not that day. Jesus P is gonna railroad a lot today. I won't! I will not! Although I am writing a lot right now. This isn't intentional. This is the most awkward story I have ever written, and I have written a lot of very awkward stories. Alright, I'm entering this. Let's see. This is Maris, she says. My daughter. Oh, hi, you say, a little overwhelmed. You guide Lizzie away from your forge and back into the house, too dazed to think much of the soot streaking your arms or the heavy scorched work apron on your front. While Lycia and her daughter settle, you see about putting the kettle on and realize at the start how terrible you must look right now. You quickly wash your hands and arms in the sink and scrub the soot and sweat from your face, hoping you aren't too obvious about it. When the tea is done, you sit at the table across from them, grasping the teacup a little too tightly and facing two pairs of identical gold eyes. So, you say, what brings you to Blackwater? I mean, to me. You flush, cursing your own awkwardness. I mean, never mind, you may as well tell me. Lycia laughed softly. I was passing through and saw your sign. And your dog! The corner of her lips turn up slightly. No? No, go again. I'm not having it. I'm not having it today. I mean, to our home. Lycia smiles kindly. The toddler giggles at something she sees on the floor. Alright, well, I'm just gonna get rid of this because that seems very weird. And then I'm gonna make the AI go again. Lycia does a lot of smiling kindly. I'm getting a little bit creeped out by it, if I'm completely honest with you. I mean, this is very stereotypical of me, but not to be too autistic, but like, all the smiling? Ooh, too much. Avert your gaze, please. Okay, moving on. I am autistic, just to be clear. Okay. No! I'm here to ask you some questions for the Werewolf Pack's new alpha. Werewolf Isn't this a little bit off topic? Why am I doing this? Today is the day I rage quit AI Dungeon. 2 hours into streaming this story. It is better. Tricky that you're right. It is better. But also, isn't this a little bit off topic, says the AI to itself. Chimerical Girl says, I wish AI Dungeon would remember this is a werewolf story. Finger on the monkey's paw curls. Yeah, if I end up writing an ABO story, I'm gonna be very upset. Okay. I would just like to remind everyone that alpha theory as regarding wolf packs is outdated and only exists in fiction. So, yes. Anyway. So I do have it pinned that it's a werewolf story. I'm sure I do. You are a blacksmith named Nero. You live in the village of Blackwater. You encountered a polite and seemingly well-meaning werewolf on the way home one night. You worry the werewolf may appear again one day. Yeah, so it does know this is a werewolf story. Probably. I don't know. I think maybe you're right, Chimerical Girls, and this is some straightforwardly a monkey's paw situation. Alright, let's... I can do this. I'm gonna edit. I used to edit a lot, didn't I? I'm gonna edit more now. I can't bring myself to write a werewolf story with alphas in it. It's outdated. That's not how wolf packs work. Gone. Dead. Alright. Okay. Tricky Thesis, I thought this was going to be an adventure. Frowny face. No, I think this is clearly going to be some kind of weird... Excuse me. Weird kind of slice of life story. Okay, I've edited that to make me less cross. I need to drink some water. Apologies for all the coughing. Right. Oh, hi, Mitch. Good afternoon. Alright, okay. Mitch, it has not been going well. Let's see what we can do with this. I'm just gonna see what the AI does with this. Oh yeah, I can prompt the AI. AI, finish this. Mitch says, is the AI not playing ball? Well, so far it introduced a sister, then changed it to a potential romantic partner, then changed it back to potentially being our sister, but also married to our father. Then we fixed all of that, and now I just don't know. The AI doesn't know what to say. You can't answer. You can't do questions. Aw. Okay, AI Dungeon. I don't want to make this any more difficult for AI Dungeon than I can. Tricky thesis, that moment when you try to make a decent story, but the AI is acting like a child. The AI is acting like a child, and then I'm also not being very mature about the situation because I'm just getting unreasonably cross. But, we'll see how this goes. Mitch says, wow, the AI has some strange views of relationships. It really does. I don't think it's been very well trained on that. Okay, we'll see. So changed it to. She takes a deep breath. So have you ever had strange dreams of a full moon, of running on 4 paws? Strange dreams. You frown, thinking, and we're going to see what the AI does. Alright, AI, can you respond to this? Do you understand what I'm trying to get you to do? Do you understand? Okay. It's gotten a little bit confused, but... Vivid, horrifying nightmares that feel so real you think you're actually there. That's what these dreams are. But on the 3rd dream, the wolf is gone and the features of the man are clearer. You can almost make out the contours of his face. Okay, it thought I was asking it to generate a dream, which I was not. But I think I can work with this. I can work with it. Tricky thesis. The AI does really well with action, but with conversations, nah. You say that. It does okay with action, but sometimes it just kills you. Sometimes it just murders you. I have a clip of that, I think. Of the AI just... Oh my goodness. It's fine. We're gonna move on. We're not gonna focus on how AI Dungeon is a terrible co-writer. And we're gonna focus on how... to get it to write better. Okay. I'm so salty today. I'm so sorry. Mitch says, not going to lie, they're probably a better writer than I. I'm still at the and it was all a dream, the end level. The same level as AI Dungeon. / No, significantly better. I've seen how AI Dungeon ends the story. I think anyone can do better than AI Dungeon because AI Dungeon can only vaguely impersonate a human. So, we're all good. Okay. Vivid, horrifying nightmares that feel so real you think you're actually there. You remember dreaming the taste of blood and the pounding terror of running full pelt. These dreams had never been comfortable for you. Yes, you say, hoping this doesn't mean what you think it means. But more nightmares for me. You already know the Black Wolf of Blackwater is real, but finding out you are related to werewolves is making you feel sick with fear. Alright, I'm gonna have the AI go again. Tricky V says, OMG, I can just feel V's disappointment. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not happy with AI Dungeon today. I'm not. What else, Licia asks. I'm not a loner, she says. I have a best friend named Carter. He's a black beast. You nod, trying to look encouraging. That's nice. Mitch says, maybe I'm trying to impersonate a human? Mitch, I couldn't comment, but maybe you are. Alright. Oh. What else? I'm not a loner. I have a best friend. I don't know where this has come from, but Black Beast is still like... is still in the story, kind of. Go again. Just go again. I don't want to clean this up. I keep editing everything it says. Just go again. The A right now is like, okay, says Tricky V. Yeah, I just love like, that's nice. You nod trying to look encouraging and then saying that's nice is a thing I've seen the AI write many times. I think it write, and usually in response to its own things, it just writes something as like, I don't really know what to do about this. You're just like, yeah, sure. Go again, go again. I don't want to have to edit it. I want it to be, I want you to do something good. AI Dungeon. It's so obsessed with alphas. Licia nods. Good, she says. That means you're an alpha. So is it true? Her eyes flicker to your work apron nervously. Is there a pack near Blackwater? Are they attacking the town? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna work with it. Everyone, I'm gonna work with it, but we are not having alphas in this story. Pack theory is outdated and it makes people treat their dogs badly. We're not having it. So, let's see. Chimerical Girl says supernatural romance authors need to relearn their wolf tropes. I completely agree. Tricky V says run away from this situation. I want to, but this is the story, Tricky V. This is the story. And we're trying to tell a coherent story, so I can't just start again midway through. So this is where we are. We're working with what we have. And who knows what it might become, because last time it became demons very suddenly. Let's see. Are they attacking the town? Can the story? No, we're gonna make this work. We are gonna make this work. Mitch says, the story needs Van Helsing to clear the alpha. No! Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm fine. I'm totally fine. I'm in control. A Crabo says, hi. Hello, welcome. I'm fighting with AI Dungeon right now. We are having a moment. We're having several moments. I, 'cause, 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 ' Okay, let's edit it. Acrevo says, oh yeah, I know how AA Dungeon is. It's because I started playing it since it was a baby, basically. Oh, so you've seen it like before Griffin AI. Classic AI here was very strange. Please do give advice. Obviously, I'm not using it in the normal way because I'm trying to write a story with it. I'm only using the story function. But I often there are things I just don't know about how to use this AI, so tips are welcome. Although I may not use them. Chucky V says, V is the father, AI is the rebellious teen. I'm such a bad father, though. Chucky V, I just yell at it constantly. No wonder it won't do what I need it to. Mitch says V is definitely going to send it to its room. Acrevo says, I know it likes to go off to the moon. Tricky V says, I've seen it when you couldn't even type stuff. I've been in AA Dungeon for a while too. Yeah, I only found out about it last year. I have a friend who streams and Sambians, and I'm a big fan of his stream, and I saw him play, and I was like, I could co-write with this. That's been a journey. I've already done one story with it that went very strangely, and this has started even weirder. So I'm familiar with it now, but I'm not super familiar. Acreva says you made a big mistake. Oh, I know. Trying to co-write with the AI? Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely massive mistake. Thankfully, this is not what I published. This is just kind of a fun experiment. Going into, I don't have a plan. I go into it. I let the AI kind of guide the story. Whew, gosh, it gets weird. Chicky says I will make pizza rolls and watch this madness. Please do enjoy. I'm gonna see what the AI does with this. So we've edited that a little bit. So now it reads. Lucia nods. Good, she says. That means you might have the blood. So is it true? Her eyes flicker to your work apron nervously. I don't know why that's there. Is there a pack near Blackwater? The blood. Werewolf blood, she must mean. Like she has, or says she has. You think of the stories of the Black Wolf of Blackwater. Stories you now know are true. There is at least one werewolf near Blackwater. You set aside your tea and rub your face tiredly. You don't want to think about this. Maybe, you say. So, how's our father, you ask? And how did you find out I live here? And now I'm going to let the AI go, and it's going to be really bad because it does not understand familial connections, as we have just graphically learned. Alright, let's see. Did it do it? Ooh. Doesn't make any sense. He's fine. The Black Wolf came to see him last year. Her face darkens. I don't know why you still live here. You shrug. I have nowhere else to go. No, that's not really it. It's really frustrating when it says something that is just kind of lacking context. Doesn't really work with what's come before, but at the same time it's not enraging. It's just kind of I just feel very meh about it. Go again, AI Dungeon. Alright. Just really wants to... He's fine, she says. I'm the Pack's tracker. I track down new recruits and make sure they understand the rules. We can't transform in front of humans. Okay, it's really into this, Pack stuff. I don't think I know how to write a werewolf story. Help! Okay. Alright. I really just wanted to get bitten by a werewolf, and that really did not happen. Oh, Acreva, you just followed me. Thank you so much. I stream every week for a bit. Fine, she just changes the subject. Tricky V, she bites you. Do it, V. No, I don't know. When you're agreeing with someone, do you nod or shake your head? Like, it's you nod if you're agreeing, except that if you're agreeing with like a negative, I don't know. I'm going with shakes. Also, I've seen lots of writing where it's like you shake your head in agreement, and I find that very strange. What did I say? The daughter's name is Maris. Tricky These is suddenly werewolf fight. No! I don't think that's the mood right now. I think the AI opened immediately with very friendly werewolves, and I'm just trying to make this go. Tricky D says, yeah, AI loves doing suddenly, nods head in agreement, and dies instantly. Oh, that would be great. And terrible, both of those things. Okay. Oh, we're through the first hour. We've got about half an hour left. 2/3 through the stream today. I don't think it's going to be able to do anything with what I'm writing. I do think that, Tricky, that you're right, and that the AI doesn't know what to do with this, like, mild slice of life story that it has decided we are writing. So, Cravo says you're writing too good for it. Well, that's part of the experiment, is trying, I want to write it roughly the way I would normally write it. I mean, obviously I'm on a stream and this is an unplanned first draft, so it's not exactly the way I would normally write it. But, and see how it does. And it does kind of work. It works a lot better with Dragon AI, but I don't have that right now. Mitch says, I need to drop off more work calls. Catch you on Sam's stream later, Vic. Oh, bye, Mitch. See you later. Tricky says, the AI dug its own grave. Thanks for coming along, Mitch. What did we add? I'll just carry on with... you nod, trying to bite down on your disappointment. Oh, so you're only here because of the pack. She shrugs and doesn't meet your eyes. The warm smile she's been keeping up this whole time fading. It's not the only reason, she says. We don't have a lot to do with humans. When I learned you might be a recruit, I was excited to meet you. But you wouldn't have been able to come otherwise, you say. She shakes her head. I brought Maris, she said, as if to mollify you. That's what she says. That's me. The toddler is pushing a spoon around the table, not really interested in you.
You put an awkward hand on Lycia's shoulder. This is the AI. You put an awkward hand on Lycia's shoulder, but I'm here now. The corners of your mouth turn up darkly. So I've been told. She nods, the movement too rigid. We should go. Nope. Icarus says, suddenly, Dave the Floor Demon that invented Skateball appears. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I've seen it try and bring up. Okay, Miracle Girls is just all questions. Yeah, I'm all questions as well. Oh my goodness. Go again. Just go again. It's fine. I love the retry button. Oh, no, it's invented another species. It does that a lot. The Ulvars are herding her, wanting to get you to finish the conversation. So what do you want to ask me? She takes a breath. That makes no sense, but I still feel like the AI is throwing shade directly at me. I'm so offended. Teferax waves. How's Uwu AI coping? Terribly. Oh, Teferax, you have no idea. It's been a non-stop battle today. A sister was invented, and then it wanted us to flirt with her, and I didn't let it do that, and then it wanted to make my sister also married to my dad, and I didn't want that. It keeps trying to make it ABO-fic, which I will not allow. Alpha Theory is not good, and I won't write it. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Not that I'm upset. I'm totally calm. Tricky says, there's this streamer called It Was Jack, and they always have Dragon AI, and it's amazing. Oh, I bet. I very briefly had Dragon AI. Someone very kindly bought it for me. And gosh, that was a month of good writing with AI Dungeon, comparatively. It's expensive, though. Teferac says, you know what your story needs? More elements! AI Dungeon, also my brain when writing. Yeah, I mean, definitely. Definitely the case. I think people are a little bit disappointed by the lack of action, but this is clearly not going to be an action sort of story. I mean, it may have some action. I hope it will, because that would be fun. And there's been an awful lot of small talk and, like, discussing werewolves, which I've just found very odd. So I think we're going to get rid of the Alvars. But, because I don't know, what the heck? It doesn't fit. But also, I still feel like wanting to get you to finish the conversation is direct shade. Go again. Go again, AI. Tricky, everyone give him money. I mean, no. There's really no need. We're doing fine with it, with Griffin. Hey, Dungeon can create elements out of thin air. Yeah, Acrevo. It can and it does. All the time. Like the Alvars. You sigh and stand, push in your chair. You have so little time for this? I have to get home, you say, in your own home. I'm sorry. Do you have to? Lycia asks, standing as well. Nope. Let's go again. And then I'm going to write something and we'll see what it does if this doesn't work. You see her eyes then, peering up at you from behind your mother's leg. The gold is brighter than you've ever seen it, and they are a wolf's eyes, watching and waiting. You look away. So wait? So wait? Well, she's not behind her mother's leg, she's on the table. We can edit this and make it make sense, it's fine. Tricky says, we are doing great with Griffin. 5 minutes later pops a blood vessel. Look, I've got more blood vessels to pop, so it's fine. I'll make it. I'll just get a better skincare routine. It'll all work out. Okay. Does skincare help with that even slightly? I don't know what I'm saying. It's been a long hour. It's been a long hour, chat. You crave would suddenly feel pain in your chest and die, and then get reincarnated as Dave. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay. Okay. You see her eyes then peering up at you, the spoon suddenly forgotten. The gold is brighter than you've ever seen it, and they are unquestionably a wolf's eyes, watching and waiting. You look away. Is there anything else you wanted to ask me, you ask? I don't intend to join your pack, whatever that might mean. I'm happy enough as a blacksmith. But if you wanted to stay a while and talk family, that would be wonderful. Tricky says anything but Dave. Oh, I could. AI Dungeon users just joined in their united in their hatred of Dave and randomly named random characters. Okay, I'm gonna go again. Let's see what we get. She smiles again. I'll keep you in my thoughts, brother. I guess we're a man. I'll go with that. Thank you for your time. She leaves and you wait for your mind to stop racing. Alright, I've just mildly edited that, so there's a bit more tension in the interaction. Hang on. I think the AI is just going to add more thoughts. Oh no, it did... You don't return to the forge and spend a long time thinking about the Black Wolf, about Lycia and Maris, and about the nightmares you have never told anyone about, and which might mean that there is a wolf inside you, the same as there is in Lycia. You don't get to sleep that night. For the first time in years, you meet the Black Wolf in the forest. His eyes are pure red, the only color in his pale, drained face. Mm, no. The wolf's eyes were gold, and it hasn't been years. Let's see if I can. I'm gonna make this work. I'll edit it and I'll make it work. It's Griffin AI. We gotta edit it sometimes because it makes no sense. Tricky says V's mind is gone. Hey, don't you judge me. No matter how accurate that judgment might be. Oh, hang on. The music is also gone, which I should fix. Hang on. Got it. The first story was more coherent? How dare you? The first story was very much also chaos. Alright. They're both terrible, is the point. We've got a quarter of an hour left. Part of the trouble is that it just doesn't really have an awful lot of tension. It doesn't want to be a tense story. And while I'm okay writing stories with low tension, it's also like... it's much easier to drive a story with either action or simple conflict, especially when you're also arguing with an AI the whole time. Alright. Go with that. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see. You don't get to sleep that night. You go out for a walk, keeping to the roads as the forest has become strange and dangerous in recent times. For the first time in weeks, you meet the black wolf. Its eyes flash gold in the dark, bright against its dark fur. It emerges from between the trees just as it had that night all those weeks ago. In spite of its hulking size, in spite of its enormous teeth, you can't muster any real fear of it. Not after your last encounter, and certainly not after meeting Lycia. So I might be a werewolf too, you say to it, half wondering if it really spoke to you last time, or if that had been a dream. But you already knew that, didn't you? Tricky V says, every good story needs a villain, and where's that? I'm sad. I mean, I feel like the werewolf pack has some potential for conflict, particularly as we don't want to join it. And Lycia's sudden leaving feels like there's something more going on, that she wanted to meet us already and couldn't until it was the recruiting thing. So I think we might be able to build something with that. It's just going to be very hard to build this kind of story in this engine, but we're going to give it a go. AI? The beast stares at you, the muscles standing out on its thick neck. Go again, AI. Have you decided it can't speak anymore because I said, half wondering if it actually spoke to you? That seems like something the AI would do. Tricky, did you hex this story? Tricky, what did you do? Is it attacking us? The beast stares at you, the muscles standing out in its thick neck. It lowers its head as if to charge, and you find yourself raising your hands defensively. My own fear coursing through me? Where is it getting first person from? It always does No, I'm fine. Tricky, I'm blaming you for this. But instead it turns... Nope. But instead it turns and walks off into the forest again. You watch it go before heading back to the... We just leave? Tricky says, finally, yes! No! Delete! It really felt like you'd summoned a fight, and then it just was immediately resolved. Teferax's conflict resolved. Ding. Yes! This time, Griffin AI has no interest in conflict at all. This has been... Oh my goodness. This has been grueling. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna see what I can do with this. And I don't know why it suddenly became first person. I still think this is because it's trained in paranormal romance and urban fantasy, which is very often in first person. But I don't know what the heck. My own fear coursing through me is such a weird phrase, even if it was the correct POV. I'm gonna delete because I think it's interesting if it does attack us. This is not because Tricky is bullying me. I don't think I haven't noticed Tricky. It's because I would really like something to happen. I don't think this wolf is actually evil, but I'd like to see what it does with this. Just because I'd like to extend this scene, you know? Alright, so we now got it lowers its head as if to charge, and you find yourself raising your hands defensively. That seems like a terrible thing to do in the situation, but let's just go with it. AI? You can go again? No! It just did it again! Teferax! Teferax! It does want to resolve all the conflict! Teferax, did you just see this? It just did the same thing again. But instead of attacking, it turns and leaves. You stand there for a long time, watching it leave through winding pathways in the night. You know you should be scared, but all you feel is a strange sense of understanding. What is happening? No, I gotta control myself. I don't want to evil witch cackle. Ooh, I lose control when I evil witch cackle. Okay. Tricky, don't cry. This is my suffering. Teferax says it just wants everyone to live in peace, ships passing in the night, leaving no impression. Leaving no impression is, I feel, key to the interactions. Whereas just there's no personality, no information is passed, just these mild encounters. Oh my goodness. Whew. I'm gonna try again. You feel it's a strange sense of understanding. I'm so glad I'm recording this because I don't know why that's really struck me. Again, please, AI dungeon. We raise our hands defensively. If it was able to transform in front of you before, it could do it now. The question is, would you be able to stop it? It's already transformed. It wavers, as if thinking over the decision, shakes its head, and then begins to saunter away. It really, oh my god! It really, really wants to... AI Dungeon wants to get rid of this werewolf. The first encounter we had with it, we couldn't get away from it. It just wanted to small talk. And now, I can't get it to stay. Tricky says, "V, your laugh is contagious." Oh, I'm so sorry. I think some paracetamol might clear that up. Okay. Oh my god. This is so terrible. Oh, okay. Go again. Go again, AI Dungeon. We're at the end of the stream. I want to end on something good, and I want to see what you do. Oh. It really won't do it. We raise our hands defensively. Then it stops. It sniffs the air, and it turns and flees into the woods. You don't know what it means, but you head back to the village anyway. 2 weeks later. Oh my god. Tricky says, tell the AI to make the werewolf strike you. I mean, I could do that. But this is... I'm fascinated by what is happening right now. Why won't it have the werewolf attack? I don't understand. Please? No, maybe. I don't know. I'm having a good time trying to see what it does. All of its different variations. Although it also just, like... It also keeps adding... So, the werewolf always leaves. The werewolf always leaves. And we then also leave. It just doesn't want this scene to happen. Oops, sorry, microphone. It doesn't want this scene to happen. But it's an AI that is designed to create challenges, right? It's a text adventure AI. So it's really odd that this keeps happening. I mean, I feel like I couldn't introduce a character in the last story without them drawing a sword and trying to attack us. But... This is just gonna be... Ugh. I feel like I need to make something happen. Suddenly. All right, let's try this. So, you find yourself raising your hands defensively. It lowers its head as it... Yeah. Then it stops. It sniffs the air. Wolf, you ask cautiously. You are more unnerved by its silence now than you were when it first spoke. The beast gazes off into the distance. Its hackles raise and it begins to thrum with a deep, threatening growl. You follow its gaze. AI Dungeon. We have 6 minutes left of the stream. Let's see what you do. Tricky says we are thirsty for action. Well, you definitely are. I would settle for a slice of life story if only it had any impact whatsoever. But it really doesn't seem like that's gonna happen. You follow its gaze. A human stands beneath the tree not far from where you two stand. He carries a bow and looks like he's searching for another arrow. The black wolf turns, bounding off into the darkness. That's interesting. I'm gonna make it a woman. It's already made us a man, and that was annoying to me. Let's see. Yeah. Can the AI generate appearances? Ooh, kind of gross. The woman looks like a knight from an old storybook. She is far more beautiful than any princess you might have met, with snow white hair and skin as fair as Lycia's? Ooh. Go again. It can generate appearances. Teferac says, at least he's leaving with context this time. Yes, this time there's a reason for him just to leave. There's something else happening. We're not just all returning. Huh? The woman looks like a knight in shining armor, but you know from experience that she is far more dangerous. You know who she is. Lycia. She raises an eyebrow, not pausing in her training? No. That's not what Lycia looked like. You already generated an appearance for Lycia game, and we don't know that she's far more dangerous from experience because she just came in and had a cup of tea and then left. Tricky says, conflict? I don't think it is. It's not Lycia, and this is weird. Go again. Go again. No. Go again. Go again, AI Dungeon. No, it's fine, but the woman looks like an elf, but elves don't exist. Only in fairy tales. Sorry, that is very funny to me just because, I mean, obviously it went only in fairy tales, and I get that it's trying to be like, but elves do exist, but you're just responding to it. But I love the idea that the A is like, she looks like an elf, but elves aren't real. You fumble for your pistol, pulling it out and aiming... A pistol? Pulling it out and aiming at her. You don't want to use silver bullets. That would be wasteful. I don't know. No? Go again. This is interesting. We're getting different things happening. She had a bow. It looks like a warrior. She wears leather armor with a steel sword strapped to her back. Her brown hair is bound back in a ponytail, and although she isn't quite as tall or as well-muscled as you, there is no doubting her competence. Sure. Okay. Chimerical Girl says, it was a 50-50 chance of her being Lycia or Maris. Tricky says, flintlock? I mean, I don't think so. We didn't have a pistol before. Why would we have one now? And why would it have silver bullets? Chimerical Girl says, what's that? You wanted some conflict? I mean, we kept trying. Tricky says, after the stream, you need to sleep. Like, geez, AI. Alright, I'm gonna go with this, and we'll give the AI one last thing. So, hello, you call, striding forward. The woman shifts her focus, training her bow on you, and you stop and raise your hands in a pacifying gesture. It's alright. My name is... Don't speak, the woman commands. She aims her arrow at you. Okay. We got it. We have some kind of conflict. Probably it will end with nothing happening, and we will know nothing more about the characters or the story's plot. But something is happening. And it's interesting because it introduces the werewolves were clearly no threat, but now we've got a woman who's a threat, so maybe that'll be good. I don't really know. Thank you for being here for my extremely public meltdown while I try to co-write with AI Dungeon. Obviously, I'll be back next week at 2 p.m. BST or UTC +1. And I will put up the VOD and the text from this on my website. Thanks so much for being here, and I'm going to end the stream now. Bye, everyone!